Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here. So today I wanted to bring you an update to my Paleozoic frog deck. I think it's just simply plays some of the strongest traps that can just do so much damage against really any deck, obviously especially even meta, because these cards are just very powerful. And it's also a very budget deck. It's one of those kind of control trap heavy decks that doesn't require any expensive draw cards, like Extravagance or Prosperity, any of those. You don't need them in this deck. You do need just one, and I'll show you that one. But yeah, if you guys have not already, make sure you subscribe. And if you want any of the cards that are shown in this video, you can go to TCG Player. I have a link in the description. You can check that out. And let's get right into this one. Starting off with our Frog Engine, which is 3 Swap Frog, 3 Dupe Frog, and 2 Ronin Totem. It's the perfect ratios. That's always how you should play them. Sometimes people cut this one, but because of our draw card, I wanted to do as many as I could of these. Yeah, it's a really strong engine. I would never cut it. It's just really powerful, really consistent. And having these, backed up by traps, you're pretty good. So that is it for the monsters. And then for the spells, 3 Pot of Desires. Now this is one of the control decks that actually can play Pot of Desires because it doesn't have any one card, engines or anything. Obviously we have the Frog Engine, which is again why we play 2 Ronin Totem because of Desires, and then everything else, we don't care if we banish 2 of them. A lot of times you don't care if you banish all 3. As long as you, off of these draws, you're just getting some powerful traps. That's all you care about. So Pot of Desire is really nice, and then of course Card of Demise, of course very nice because you're trying to set most of your hand, or if not, you're hoping to be able to do your frog stuff. And then, go into your Totally Awesome or whatever. And the last of the spells is my favorite spell card to play in, especially, Paleozoic frogs, but even like mermails. I love this card. So it's Fury, and basically you activate it, you can add a Torrential Tribute from your deck to your hand, which is really good. And then while it's in the graveyard, if water monsters you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this from your graveyard instead. So obviously you're searching the Torrential, setting the Torrential, activating it. If you have a ton of waters on your field, it doesn't matter. You're blowing up the whole board, and then you're protecting all of your water monsters with this card. So it's the perfect spell card for a water-based deck. And that's it for the spells. So that leaves plenty of room for the traps. We should play a lot of them, and a lot of really, really good ones. Obviously, I think the best Paleozoic trap by far, and most of you will agree, Dinomischus allows you to discard and just banish a card on the field. And then, of course, all of the Paleozoics, when a trap card is activated, you can special summon this from your graveyard as a level 2 water-type monster, which is really nice. And then we play 3 Canadia. Now this is the one that's basically Book of Moon. Target a face-up monster your opponent controls, change its face-down defense position. And then I'm choosing to play 3 Olenoides. This one is targeting a spell and trap and destroying it. Comes up a lot. And then 2 Morella. This is basically just getting a trap card from your deck to the graveyard. So obviously that would be if you didn't open up any of these, didn't open up enough of them, getting a Paleo to the graveyard, so then when you activate your traps later, you'll be able to special summon them back to the field. So I like it at 2. Again, it's there also at 2 because of Pot of Desires, but I would probably still play it at 2 because it is really nice to have. And then for the other traps that we're playing, here's a new one that I'm decided to play. I got a reprint, so this used to be a secret rare. Now it's a super, so it's dirt cheap. But I like it better than Lost Wind. It's basically very, very similar to Lost Wind, except It changes the monster's attack to 0 and negates its effect, but the monster has to be special summoned from the extra deck, whereas Lost Wind is just special summon monster. The other difference is when your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, while this is in the graveyard, you can set it back to the field, but you don't have to banish it. Whereas with Lost Wind, you do have to banish it when it leaves the field. So that's kind of why I like this one a little better. They're very similar. But yeah, again, it's like a trap trick target as well, normal trap. And then of course, 3 Torrential Tribute. That's going to be your, other than the Paleos, I think this is your by far your best card, your power card. 3 Compulsory Evacuation Device. I think it's still a really good card. It's not a once per turn or anything like that. You just target a monster on the field, return to the hand. And then against those other control decks, 2 Heavy Storm Duster. Super important. I like it in the main. There's a lot of decks out there, Tri-Brigade and all those that trap Eldritch that like to obviously set back row, and so popping those before they can do a lot of damage is nice. And then we're playing the 2 Trap Trick. That's all you need. I've never really felt the need for 3 because you don't want multiples. 1 is plenty, or obviously you want 1 in hand. So 2 of these is plenty. And then for our continuous, play 3 Goes a Match because pretty much everything we're trying to go into is water type. So this doesn't hurt us, but it's usually going to hurt your opponent. And then Imperial Order. This should be banned, but it's not. So that's why we play it, because it's obviously really good. So that is the main deck. I believe it was 42. Again, you don't want to play exactly 40 just because of Pot of Desires. You don't want to get too low in your cards. So I just go a little bit over usually. And then for our extra deck, playing 2 of the Paleozoic Cambroster. Now, the Paleozoic extra deck cards, they are unaffected by other monsters' effects, which is really nice. This one allows you to target a set card in the spell and trap zone, send it to the graveyard, and then set a Paleozoic directly from your deck. But most of the time, if you make this, you want to obviously use that effect to get a really good Paleozoic. But then if you can get this to the graveyard, that's where it really helps you out. Because if a set card you control would be destroyed by a card effect, so like your Lightning Storms, Twin Twisters, anything like that, you can just banish this from your graveyard instead. So it protects your back row. So 2 of those. 1 Coral Anemone. This is going to allow you to target one of your frogs and special summon it. So it is nice for that. And then Miss Starboy, just get you boost some attack on some of your water monsters, basically. That's it for the links. And then for the XEs, we played 2 Opabinia. Now this one is awesome. That's why we play 2 of it, because it allows you to activate Paleozoic trap cards from your hand. And then if this has a trap card as XE's material, you can detach 1 and then add a Paleozoic trap from your deck to your hand. So that will obviously allow you to search a trap, have it in your hand, and then keep it in your hand so that your opponent can't really destroy it, and then activate it, from your hand off of his effect. Really nice card. And then if you need some attack power, the other Paleozoic, I can't even pronounce his name, the purple one. This one, the main reason we use it is obviously because of the 2400 attack, but then if it has a trap card as Xyz material, which you need 3 or more level 2 monsters, you can just detach 1, target a card on the field, and destroy it. So it's really good for that as well. And then the main one you're going into is actually not those. It's totally awesome. 100% you're going to try to go into this every single turn because it is that awesome. It negates and specials a frog from your deck. It's just really good. Does everything you need it to. And then the other Xyz that we play, Cat Shark, allows you to double the attack of like a Totally Awesome or your Paleozoic. So that comes up every now and then. Gachi Gachi is gonna you're gonna summon it in defense usually, and then if a face up card would be destroyed, you can detach one material from this card instead. And then face up monsters you control gain 200 attack and defense for each Xyz attached to this. So obviously right off the bat they're going to be gaining 400 attack, 400 defense. So it's nice sometimes. And then Armored Kappa is one that I like as well. Mostly because of the next cards we're playing. Because having one of your... So basically the main reason we're using him is to discard, and then for the rest of the turn, so this is during the battle step, monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage. So that'll allow you to have him in attack, you'll take no battle damage, won't be destroyed, and then during your main phase 2, you'll slap a Downward Magician on him, and then get a 4 material Zeus. So this is just basically an easier way of getting a 4 material Zeus. So that's it, because it doesn't detach, which is really nice. It allows you to discard, so you don't lose that material, so you can make him... it's gimmicky, but we have the room in the extra deck to do that. But yeah, that is the deck, guys. Again, it's a really, really powerful deck. It's definitely one that's cheap, that you can take to locals and do very well with. A lot of really good power cards in here that people just won't expect. So yeah, check it out, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.